everybody, it's me, Laura, and today we're going to go ahead and create a kaleidoscope pattern in polymer clay. The first simple cane I am using here is a Kato Skinner Blend fan folded cane of turquoise and white. This cane starts out at 1¼ inch diameter, and then this is wrapped in black and cut off a section of a black and white stack placed on the side, and then another thickness of black covered the checkered or the striped area of that black and white stack. This all will be done on the thickness of a #1 setting on your Atlas machine. And then from here it is reduced to 3¼ of an inch to 5/8 of an inch in diameter, and cut this in half, giving you 2 canes to work with. This cane also features 2 registration marks. One will be on the top and middle area of the checkered part, and then the other will be in the middle of the area where the blue is. The second cane is a fan-folded Skinner blend of Kato yellow and magenta and turquoise. This cane is 1¼ inches to 1½ inches in diameter. It is then wrapped in black with a thickness of your #1 setting on your Atlas machine. Reduce this cane to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. This cane also features a registration mark where the blue side of the cane is. The third cane is a 1-inch diameter fan-folded magenta and yellow Skinner blend. It is wrapped in a piece of black which was flattened out on an Atlas machine at a #1 setting. This wrapped blend measures about 1¼ inches in diameter, and you will then reduce this to 5/8 of an inch. This cane also features a white registration mark on the outside down the middle of the magenta area. On that registration mark, go ahead and create a pinched area so you'll have a point, which it kind of turns it into a teardrop formed cane. That also applies to the last cane you just dealt with too. It will also have a teardrop form to it. The fourth and final cane is a Skinner blend cane with a 1-inch diameter. Wrap this in black on a #2 setting with your Atlas. Then you'll wrap a black and white checker around the cane with each section being flattened out on a #1 setting. That checker, of course, will be coming from your stack cane, created also on a #1 setting, and then cutting off sections and running them through your Atlas machine on a #1, and then placing them side by side around the cane. Wrap all that in black on a #2, and then this will give you a checkered bullseye cane of 1½ inches in diameter. Reduce this then to a ½ inch in diameter. Now I slightly pinched this particular cane, but not too much. I don't want to lose too much detail with that checker. Now once I have this piece all kind of put together, from here we're going to add in 4 yellow logs. So these yellow logs are all about 1/4 inch in diameter, and so these 4 yellow logs are going to be placed around on the outside of what I call my completed clay combination. Now that I have this completed clay combination right here, this is the last one I'm going to put on there, my 4th log. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my blade now, I'm putting that on the side, and I'm just going to cut off a slice of this. Now, I do this because this is my reference point. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and recreate this particular cane again. I now, since I've cut off that slice, I know exactly what kind of canes I used and how they looked before I started rolling it and, reducing this particular thing down. You can tell here I took a measurement. It's about 2 inches by like, what, 1.5 or so. But you could tell my canes, I don't have like a huge wad in front of me. This thing fits within my hands. And I do that so that that's where that combination comes in so handy. I can go back, recreate the whole thing all over again. So I'm going to cut this thing in half. Once I do that, I'm going to probably, I'll take a slice off of there. This kind of gives me my small disc. I can use that with my thumbnails, as I call them, once in a while, or I'll just put that in with the recipe card that we are going to be building here. All right, so I have a small section of this cane, and right now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch where my registration mark, or where the registration mark I picked, since there's a few on this one, into a point. And once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut slices from this. Now, I'm doing this because I want to know the different combinations I'm going to get. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and cut off that end. So I kind of turn that around, and since it's right on the very end here, I can generally get most of the pattern anyway. So I'm just reforming that, and this becomes my guide. So this is my triangle with my point right there. And I can go from here, and I'm going to cut slices. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now at this point, I would take all 6 of these slices and I would bake them. And the reason why I do that is, let's say I want to go ahead and just figure out what the 3 combinations for my 3-part, as I call it, or my rounded kaleidoscope would look like. This way then I can put them together and I can figure it out without having to use up any more clay. And that way then you're conserving your clay, so that you want to go ahead and make as much cane work as possible, so you can figure out which canes you would prefer to make from this combination. The nice thing about doing this is I take the guesswork out of it for you and give you all the different combinations possible without you having to waste any clay trying to figure out what patterns you will get, and also by deciding which pattern you would like the most and creating maybe a lot more of that particular one pattern out of the whole set. But let's go ahead, move on, and I will now give you all of the patterns that will come from this combination. Here I have the original completed clay combination, and then the reduced version of the piece, and then the triangle form created from the original reduced version. From here we're going to take our triangle and then create our first version, or our first combination, and that is with the pointed end down, and so that will be on the inside, and that gives you your first combination. Now, if you point it outward, in other words, we're going to go up, and that will be the reverse. This is the reverse version, or as I call it, this is the connecting combination to the other one. Now you're going to take this, and from here you're going to make your point on the outside, and this will give you your third and final version of your 3-part, or as I call it, the rounded kaleidoscope. Okay, so the 4-part kaleidoscope starts with your triangle piece. So I have the one triangle here, and then what you do is you double it. So you have 2 different triangles, and remember, these triangles represent actual canes. So what we're going to do is I'm showing you from the basic, there's the combination, the reduced, the triangle, and from here I'm showing you the two pieces, and remember there are three sides. We've got 1, 2, 3 sides to make 3 different combinations of cane. I will be taking these 2 triangles which represent canes and match them together with the original points together. You would then use your roller to take this diamond-like looking cane and reduce it into a square. And this square cane, which represents not just one cane but 4 parts, can then give you 3 different square kaleidoscope patterns to work with. And remember, when I mean the 3 kaleidoscope patterns here, like I've got the one right here, and then you flip it around, and you'll have your second pattern, and then the last pattern in this would also be your, I would say, your connecting pattern to the other 2 kaleidoscopes. Okay, so from here I'm going to go ahead and create the other 6 square kaleidoscope patterns and just let you enjoy this. Okay, so right here we have the results to my kaleidoscope. This is the 3-part kaleidoscope. I have my completed clay combination at the very beginning, and then of course the different stages to get to that 3-part kaleidoscope and the 3 different patterns. The next, of course, is going to be our 4-part kaleidoscope, and this is the square one. What you need to remember with the 4-part or the square kaleidoscope cane is that that triangle can be mirrored in 3 different ways. So when you mirror your triangular cane or piece on one side, just remember it will give you 3 different patterns. And of course then this gives you the 9 different combinations when each side is mirrored. So here I wanted to share with you what is on the back side of these boards, because all of these combinations that I have, the best way for me to take care of them or to be able to reference them is to place them on a board. And so to do this, I go ahead and I cut off a slice, I bake that, I place that to the side, and then I prep a board, and then on the back side I go ahead and I take a Sharpie marker and I write down exactly what I've done. So this way then, trying to go back and remember, okay, what kind of cane did I use? I can't remember. It's all right here. You don't have to go looking. Okay, so here are the end results with my kaleidoscope patterns. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm always wondering what you're thinking. Otherwise, I am sending out my biggest hugs to each of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.